No one knows how we came to this land. A land filled with magic and danger.
That's my father, King of Dumbroch. Then there's my brothers.
Devils, more like.
And there's my mother. She's in charge of every single day of my life.
A lady does not place her weapons on the table.
Mom.
She just doesn't listen.
Pretend I'm Merida. Speak to me. I want to stay single and ride through the glen, firing arrows into the sunset.
Each of the firstborn must compete for the hand of the fair maiden.
I'll be shooting for my own hand.
Don't you dare loose another arrow! What became of this precious daughter I once knew?
I want a spell that changes my fate. Done.
What's the worst that could happen?
If you had the chance to change your fate, would you?
He's been around for like centuries, perhaps. No one knows. So we put spears in his back.
He's just this dark soul that's kind of buried inside this bear shape.
I don't think it's Lopi like a bear. We gotta treat it like the alien, predator. It has a form of corrupted intelligence. It's like gone past what it's actually turned into. I mean, it's a cursed thing.
He had been attacked earlier in his life, and his hair had been burned away. It's very scarred. So I had to design the hair to work around those areas that were hairless and kind of make the direction reflect the brutality that had become him.
It's very, very easy in the computer graphics world to make things perfect. But in this world, things get dirty. So how does mud stick to somebody's face? We had to have real reference. Oh, yuck.
Awesome.
On Brave, we developed this technology to generate cloth actually woven of billions of little fibers to have the kind of texture that actual cloth would have.
In particular for the tapestry, actually went kind of another level deeper to get that kind of textural detail. We actually created individual threads for each thread in the tapestry and then wrote computer software to weave them together into a pattern.
I am Merida, firstborn descendant of Clan Dumbroch, and I'll be shooting for my own hand.
What are you doing?
Her voice isn't too far removed from mine. I just sort of amped up the teenage thing that's never quite left. I just had to pretend my mum was in the room. You never really grow out of that in a way. You know, there's nothing that can wind you up like your parents.
It was my idea in the first place.
Well, I felt that if I wasn't part of the movie, I was somehow not as Scottish as I would like to be. Everybody that I respect and admire in Scotland is in this movie, with the exception of my family, and some of them are in it, probably.
And we don't hide under bridges, you grumpy old troll.
Find those by the creek, did you?
Good Majesty, I present my eldest son. I want to stay single and let my hair flow in the wind.
You big sack of hammers, you.
Once there was an ancient kingdom.
Oh, Mum. Ancient kingdom.
Its name long forgotten, ruled by a wise and fair king who was much beloved. And when he grew old, he divided the kingdom among his 4 sons, that they should be the pillars on which the peace of the land rested. But the oldest prince wanted to rule the land for himself. He followed his own path, and the kingdom fell to war and chaos and ruin.
That's a nice story.
It's not just a story, Merida. Legends are lessons. They ring with truth.
You're muttering.
I don't mutter.
Aye, you do. You mutter, lass, when something's troubling you.
I blame you. Stubbornness. It's entirely from your side of the family.
I take it the talk didn't go too well, then.
I don't know what to do.
Speak to her, dear.
I do speak to her. She just doesn't listen.
Come on, now. Pretend I'm Merida. Speak to me. What would you say?
I can't do this.
Sure you can. There. That's my queen. Right, here we go. I don't want to get married. I want to stay single and let my hair flow in the wind as I ride through the glen, firing arrows into the sunset.
Merida, all this work, all the time spent preparing you, schooling you, giving you everything we never had. I ask you, what do you expect us to do?
Call off the gathering. Would that kill them? You're the queen. You could just tell the lords the princess is not ready for this. In fact, she might not ever be ready for this. So that's that. Good day to you. We'll expect your declarations of war in the morning.
I understand this must all seem unfair. Even I had reservations when I faced betrothal. But we can't just run away from who we are.
I don't want my life to be over. I want my freedom.
But are you willing to pay the price your freedom will cost?
I'm not doing any of this to hurt you.
If you could just try to see what I do out of love.
But it's my life. I'm just not ready.
I think you'd see. If you could just...
I think I could make you understand if you would just...
Listen.
Listen.
Your Majesty, I present my heir and scion, who defended our land from the northern invaders and, with his own sword, stab Bludder, vanquish 1,000 foes.
Good Majesty, I present my eldest son, who scuttled the Viking longships and with his bare hands vanquished 2,000 foes.
Clan Dingwall!
I present my only son, who was besieged by 10,000 Romans, and he took out a whole armada single-handedly. With one arm, he was steering the ship, and with the other, he held his mighty sword and struck down the whole attacking fleet.
Lies!
What? I heard that. Aye, say it to my face. Or are ye scared, simpering jackanapes? Afraid to muss your pretty hair?
At least we have hair.
And all our teeth. If he was a wee bit closer, I could lob a caber at him, kin.
And we don't hide under bridges, ya grumpy old troll.
You wanna laugh, huh? We Dingwall!
Not him! That's the way to do it! All right. Shut it! Now, that's all done. You've had your go at each other. Show a little decorum. And no more fighting!
Angus!
There are those who say fate is something beyond our command, that destiny is not our own. But I know better. Our fate lives within us. You only have to be brave enough to see it.